Okay, so it seems like recently Ironmouse has been calling out one very big issue that has been going on a lot of platforms, and it's been an issue for many VTubers in particular, right? And this was a post that came out recently from Ironmouse calling out this thing over on Twitter, where essentially they put a warning on a post that she made back on May 22nd. And it says, we're putting a warning on this post because there might be some sensitive content like nudity, sexual content, violence, gore, or hateful symbols. We know we don't always get it right, so if you think we flagged your post by mistake, you can appeal the warning by clicking on each post. Keep in mind, it doesn't guarantee you'll be removed. And obviously, yeah, she literally says down in the post there, saying, I had 3 nightmares last night, and a nightmare in a nightmare. What does this mean? Which obviously, there is nothing wrong with this post whatsoever, right? And of course, she did actually have a GIF underneath it, which was this, which honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with this, right? I feel like there is nothing, kind of breaking the rules or whatever. I feel like it is a pretty standard GIF, right? And of course, yeah, people were very, very confused, so saying there was a 4th nightmare, saying Twitter's been going a bit wild with these, damn near flagged my entire account at one point. So it seems like a lot of people have been being affected by Twitter's AI moderation at the moment. And it's something that a lot of people have been getting affected on multiple platforms as well. We talked about so many times of YouTube's moderation system being almost entirely run by AI. And then obviously the moment that you want to appeal it and speak to a human, it usually just refers you to an AI once again, right? And I think that, regardless of your opinion on AI and things like that, which obviously there's been a lot of discussion, especially with Ironmouse recently with the whole NTE stuff. I think it is pretty an easy one to say that it sucks for AI moderation, right? The AI moderation does suck, regardless of whether you like AI or not, right? Because there are many channels, videos, and stuff being falsely taken down for some pretty crazy reasons, and there's so many examples of this happening as well. And obviously, there's a post, made here, obviously, if we go up, said Ironmouse calls out the AI moderation on X after one of her seemingly harmless posts got labeled as sensitive. People said, I literally got suspended for a joke. It's garbage. They need an actual person for some cases. The nightmares are sensitive. Okay. And obviously, if it's a literal blank, I sleep. Then obviously, Ironmouse real shit, which obviously a lot of people have been saying, yeah, AI moderation has beef with her. Got banned for saying cult-like mentality is bad, said I was threatening self-harm, which obviously, yeah, it does suck, right? It obviously, falsely flags it in a completely different way as to what you were trying to kind of say. And as I said, it's not just Twitter that this is a problem with, right? Twitter is obviously, the one that has affected Ironmouse, recently. But, there's also cases of, YouTube affecting people as well. We had this thing with, Smugglana one time, back in January, saying, hey team YouTube, your AI false flagged my react and flagged it for violent content and was removed from the site. Given that the original and several other reactions are still up, can you fix this mistake and reinstate my video? Your automated AI process false flagged this as you're violating your TOS. I submitted an appeal and it got rejected by a human within minutes. And yeah, that is the problem, right? It ends up getting referred to by a human, but again, it never really is a human. It's usually an AI checking another AI's work, which of course becomes a big issue. Now obviously Team YouTube did eventually respond after 2 days, which obviously is pretty crazy, right? And that's the thing too, right? They do have a live chat, I'm pretty sure, over on the studio page, but only some people get that. But a lot of the time, the main way you have to contact them is by calling them out on YouTube, which I've always said, not on YouTube, on Twitter, which I've always said is a very weird way to go about it, right? Because of course this is going to stir up a bunch of negative kind of PR for YouTube, right? Why can't they just create a system where you can email or you can do whatever to contact them instead of having to call them out publicly on Twitter every single time you have a problem, right? Why is that the method of communication that YouTube have chosen here? Because you can see here this post got 67,000 views and 2.4 thousand likes. A lot of people saw this. A lot of people are not going to be happy with YouTube, and again, this has all become public because that's how they've decided to, I guess, make their communication system, right? Whereas if this was an email, nobody would know about this, and of course they would be able to fix the issue for themselves. So again, obviously it's kind of like I guess a double-edged sword, in the sense that, it's great because we get to see what the issues with YouTube are at the moment, and we get to criticize them for that. But it's also bad because, it's bad in YouTube sense, right? It's bad for PR. It just doesn't make any sense to me as to why they would do that. But obviously they do that apparently. And of course, there's been many other cases like Rima posting that someone's ASMR channel got falsely removed, right? And this person said, I felt like quitting content creation as it's been hard to follow the TOS because again, with the AI moderation, it becomes hard. And there's also the situation a while back in February, whenever there was English words being banned from chats in live streams, right? This just goes to show you how ridiculous and how underdeveloped this AI moderation system is on YouTube and also on Twitter as well, right? To the point where they're removing English words, right? It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that, these companies have thought, oh yeah, this is working fine. People are getting along with this fine. There's also that situation as well with Shy Lily. I can't actually show the tweet because last time I made a video on it, my video also got flagged for it because she was watching a Wuthering Waves like dance video, right? It was a little I forgot what they're called. I think it was a capybara. It was like a little thing, just dancing, right? It was just dancing to some music, and it got taken down for not for copyright. It got taken down for I forgot what the reason was, but again, it was like one of those serious reasons that they have in TOS, right? It's crazy. And they took that down. They didn't take my video down. I think I'm pretty sure I cut it out so it didn't get taken down afterwards. But again, it was going to get taken down if I didn't remove it. And it's just crazy that, that's how the AI system works, right? And that's how bad it is in a space where people need their content up. Now, obviously on Twitter, there is less of a kind of repercussion for this happening, right? Twitter, it's like, okay, you lose a tweet, it doesn't really matter too much. I know people do make money off of Twitter, but again, it's not the end of the world. It is Twitter, right? But whenever it comes to YouTube and things, it's these, this is people's livelihoods, right? People are making money off of this. This is people's jobs. And obviously when a video doesn't go up or they get their monetization taken away from them or whatever, because the AI moderation decides to do that, well, of course, then it starts to become an issue because they're not making any money. And of course, that's just bad, right? I don't really need to tell you why that's bad. Because again, a content creator not making money from their channel for some reason that, is completely false or completely made up. It's just insane, and that's how bad AI moderation has gotten over the past couple of months or so. And again, it's one of these things where I'm sure it can work in the future, right? I'm sure that once AI improves or whatever, sure, right, maybe there is going to be a space for that. But again, I think that there needs to be this kind of thing of, I think it's a bit too early for this. Of course, me saying this isn't going to change anything. Of course, they're going to continue to do it. But, I think personally it's way too early to do this. And also as well, I think that for the appeals, they shouldn't be using even more AI to check the appeals. That should always 100% be a human, no matter how good the AI has gotten, right? I think that, it should always be a human looking at the appeals, because you fall into the trap of it just being confirmed by the other AI, which I think is just it's so stupid, right? I think a human should 100% be checking the appeals, and of course I don't think there's any problem with that, right? But of course it seems like that's not the case at the moment, as things seem to be getting even worse, right? But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is with this situation. Obviously, I think the tweet did still manage to go up. It just seems like they got a warning on their post for whatever reason, right? And as I said, it is the AI system just being stupid, right? But yeah, that's what I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off again. Got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. So, see ya.